Hey, Dr. Fisher here again with another video about frequently asked COVID-19 vaccination questions. So I know a number of people are worried about side effects. Will I feel bad after I get the vaccine? Might I have a severe reaction? Well, first let's talk about what's happening when you get a vaccine. Your immune system is kicked into full gear. You're not infected, but your immune system is working and it's working overtime. So when you're infected, when you get sick, you feel the combined effects of the immune response and then also damage from the virus or bacteria that you're infected with. When the immune reaction is happening, it's very powerful and it uses a lot of energy. So when you're getting vaccinated for COVID-19, you're feeling that immune reaction part. These vaccines elicit a very strong immune reaction, so you're probably going to feel it. The good news is most people feel fine and can go about their daily activities, but I do suggest giving yourself a day, particularly if you get an mRNA vaccine after the second dose. So when I got vaccinated, my shoulder was sore after both doses. I had the Moderna vaccine. It was mildly annoying. I didn't like it, but it really had no impact on my life. I could sleep on it. I could move my arm around fine. It was just kind of a nuisance. After the second dose, I had a little bit more shoulder pain and also a little bit of a headache the next day, but I popped the Tylenol and that cleared it right up. So just about everyone will have some injection site pain. That's because there's inflammation happening there. There's immune reaction happening at the spot where you got the shot. A lot of people do have aches and pains or a headache. Again, when the immune system is sending off signals to respond, or if it's using up the energy, that can lead to that aches, those pains, and fatigue. A couple of my colleagues did end up with chills and fever. I know there were a few students who had to miss a day or so of school here just because they needed a little bit of time to recover. But again, almost everyone got through unscathed and we're back to normal in a few days. And for me personally, I felt such a huge relief, like the weight off my shoulders, knowing that I was protected against COVID. That was really worth any pain that I dealt with. Now, you might have heard in the news that there have been some serious reactions. Fortunately, these are very rare. Again, no vaccine is 100% safe, but these vaccines are still incredibly safe. You might have heard the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. For young women, clotting may occur, especially if they're using oral contraceptives. But this has occurred in 39 cases out of 13 million doses. So again, this is incredibly rare. It's not happening to most people. In fact, it's happening to very, very, very few people. But I do suggest, if you're a female and you're concerned about this, you might want to consider one of the mRNA vaccines. On the flip side, you might have heard of myocarditis, inflammation of the heart occurring in young men after getting one of the mRNA vaccines. This has occurred about 1,250 times out of the 335 million doses. So again, extremely rare. But if you're a young man who are concerned, you might want to consider getting the J&J vaccine instead. But again, I'd feel perfectly comfortable putting any one of these vaccines in my body and encouraging any one of my family members, loved ones, friends to get any of these 3 commercially available vaccines. Again, they have an outstanding safety record so far, and I put my reputation on the line for these vaccines. Also, you might have heard that there have been some deaths recorded after vaccination. You should know that when the CDC records this, they record any death for any reason after a vaccination is given, even if it's unrelated. So what's the numbers here? About 2 out of every 100,000, and that's not even confirmed. So it's extremely, extremely rare that a complication like that could occur. And I certainly encourage you to compare these to the COVID mortality rates, the long-term impacts of COVID, and the disease and damage that COVID itself causes. So again, encourage you to get vaccinated, but do prepare to rest for a day afterwards. Again, being in bed for a day, it's better than being very sick for 2 weeks. It's better in dealing with long COVID for a month. It's better in being on a ventilator for a minute or being dead forever. So again, urge you to go out and get vaccinated. I'm highly confident in all these vaccines. The data is incredible. They're very safe. Go ahead, go out, protect yourself. Thank you.